Hey everybody, welcome to the Last Call Whiskey Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Travis.
Hey, it's Sean.
And we're three friends from Western Canada that love all things whiskey. Today we're going to be drinking the GlenAllachie 12, the Enigma 11 Lowland, and the Kilchoman 15 year. Well, at least two of us are, but we'll get into that after the intro. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Yeah, what a day. What a day already.
The panic, the tension, the number of voice memos that I got from you guys. And I was like, you're like, oh, we'll just wait and hear what Travis has to say. And then there'd be like 6 more voice memos. And I'm like, okay, guys, I would like to say something here. And then the little microphone would pop up. So I knew one of you was saying something else. And Jeremy,
we're just having a conversation. You're waiting to
Jeremy, what the hell happened?
Let's tell everybody what happened. So I was waiting on my samples for this episode. They were shipped last week, and they arrived in the Lower Mainland on Thursday. I think the holiday weekend kind of fucked things up. Thought they were going to arrive today. I thought it got handed off to a small courier, but it ended up just being a sticker pack that my daughter ordered. So I am sampleless for tonight's episode. But you know what, boys? Here's what I have to say about this, because sometimes life throws stuff at you, and I think you just got to roll with it and not let it bum you out, because I still get to record an episode tonight with two of the best dudes ever. And the only cherry on top that could have been tonight was if I did have my fucking samples, but that's not how it's going to go. So here we are.
It's like, it's going to be hard for you to listen and watch us drink. That part will be hard. It's going to be hard to not be able to chime in when we tell people, what we think. But in the grand scheme of things, people are listening to the show to hear what Sean and I have to say about the whiskeys anyways.
Yeah, they're just here to look at me, so I'm doing my part.
Yeah, you're here because you take pretty pictures. Yeah, that's it. So, in the end, people are still going to get what they want, which is Sean, in my opinion, and just your smiling face. You're just the pretty boy of the show.
Absolutely, I'll take that all day long.
After the last episode, I had more comments about how shitty my camera was than on anything we talked about. So I rectified that situation.
I think so people kind of understand what was happening behind the scenes, but two of us are shift workers, so we schedule this stuff far in advance. It's in our family calendars. Our wives all know that we're going to be on the show recording. So when we are trying to find a day to reschedule, it's like, well, Sean's out of town for next week. I work tomorrow night. Sean's out of town after that. We got hockey. It's to try and do it again would be tough. So
totally,
Mm-hmm.
you're still gonna hear about the whiskeys and all the other stuff, including our first official Cask Me Anything interview. And so you just want to get right into our newly named segment.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's do it.
Who gets to say it? Jerry, you say it, because you don't get to talk about the whiskeys.
All right. New segment is Happy Hour Headlines and Events, which I'm pumped. We have a name. This is great news,
I'm
boys.
Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
Heroin, sex, machine guns, flamethrowers, murder. There's no story here. We've just found that ratings go up when we say those words.
We got one. We got one more to go. We'll talk about that later. First off, I just got an email. Well, I think most of us probably get emails from Andrew Ferguson at Kensington Wine Market. And the update right now is that the MS Whiskey Festival, which is the biggest whiskey festival in Edmonton, I think still. And it's always been held in Edmonton on the Wednesday, Calgary on the Thursday, and then all the speakers all head off to the Victoria Whiskey Festival. So it's always been really good for Edmonton and Calgary in the sense that you get all these speakers that are coming for the Victoria Festival, The downside being that it's on a Wednesday in Edmonton and a Thursday in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
So the event is not canceled. It is just not going to be in January of 2026. So it's kind of one of those dun dun dun, and we kind of wait and see if they can find another date that works. So yeah, stay tuned.
Let's just hope it's not everything is happening in Western Canada in April now, because there's already some events that are in April that can't be moved.
Yeah, I'm wearing the hat. And
exactly.
Not for any particular reason. It's just the hat I wore tonight. But I will say, I think this is really good for the MS Whiskey Festival for Edmonton and Calgary, because I do think it being on a weekend is going to make the festival far better. And I know Keg and Cork is the host in Edmonton, Kensington, and Calgary. And I think if they can move it to the weekend, they can add some master classes. They have more time to work with. I think it'll turn into a better festival if they can make it all happen. So let's hope it does, because it's a good festival for the city.
Yeah, and like you said, if you can get the reps and the presenters to commit to a weekend instead of a full almost 6 days in Western Canada, it'll probably draw in a lot more brands that'll come with their official reps or worldwide reps or whatever. So yeah, I think moving it to a weekend, Friday in Edmonton, Saturday in Calgary, something like that, could work really well. I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a good move if it happens. Next month's news we'll have. All right, go ahead.
So next up on the docket, we have something we touched on last month. Trav, you want to take this one?
Well, so we released the episode last month, and I'm listening to it back, and I kind of noticed that I kind of like maybe laughed off the fact that 200 people lost their jobs. And that's not what I was laughing about. I was more laughing about how angry Doug Ford was and the whole dumping of the Crown Royal. So I wanted to clarify, 200 jobs is serious, and I feel horrible for anyone that loses their job in any circumstance. So I wanted to clarify that. No one messaged us or anything, but I just wanted to make sure that it sounded to me like a little bit like I was making light of people losing their jobs. Not the case. I hate when that happens. But Doug Ford has taken this another level. So you go.
Yeah. So you're backpedaling and kind of taking it back slightly. Doug Ford is not doubling down. He's like two-hand fisting down. He's now threatened that he will remove every single Diageo product from the LCBO going forward. There's some huge brands in there, not just whiskey brands, but like brands. Smirnoff vodka, probably the number one selling vodka in the world, I would think. One of them. Like Bailey's, I'm pretty sure that's a Diageo product. Guinness, like, hello. So,
well, we just launched the cream in Ontario, the 2 Stacks Irish cream.
Go buy
that. If they pull Bailey's, I'm actually pumped.
Yeah,
like this is huge for us. The Captain Morgan's in there.
It's
Captain
funny.
And
like you talk to people from Ontario, which most of us talk to people from Ontario daily, and their biggest gripe is that all they get for selection is Diageo core range stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. Also, I when I was typing this up, I was laughing. I was like, how many people that listen to this podcast do you think drink Smirnoff?
Yeah,
like let's say this podcast has 14 listeners, 0 of them drink Smirnoff. It's not a thing. Maybe in a Caesar on the ski hill when they're forced to, and that's the only time. Message us if I'm wrong. Anyways, Doug Ford is angry. He's taking it out on the booze.
Now,
what else do we got, Jer?
Well, I was just going to say, we can turn that right into Diageo news point number 2.
Oh, right. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so they just recently announced that they're halting production at Balcones that they just bought 2 years ago, at George Dickel, and as well as their Scottish distillery, which
It's
surprisingly,
you said it wrong. It's tea and Nick.
yes, exactly. Which surprisingly had the 2025 special release that I was actually most interested in trying, because it's $115 and it's an 8-year-old rye, and they made it at Nick. So I know it's in the market. I've been told where to find it and where to buy it, and I definitely want to try it. It's supposedly an actual rye, not like some of the other Scottish ryes that have been on the market. Yeah, if anybody had the Johnny Walker High Rye blend that they released maybe 2 years ago, that was the Nick rye that was in that as well. That's what made it the High Rye. Yeah, so just interesting that they're halting production at 3 distilleries, 2 American and 1 in Scotland. And yeah,
It doesn't
it's
want
another sign.
Nick is a huge distillery. Like they make like 10 million liters a year. I mean, we're drinking Kilchoman later, which is 470,000. Nick is a big distillery. I don't think the Balcones and George Dickel really affects us all that much here in Canada because we don't get very much of it. Do we? Do we get Dickel here?
Yeah, we get some Dickel, not the like.
I thought we got
stuff.
We got Dickel here. I didn't.
Yeah, I know for a fact that we can pick up like the 10 and 12-year-old here. And like the core range stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. Like they just bought Balcones 2 years ago, and they're just like shutting it down.
And that's sad because Balcones is making some really cool stuff. And then as soon as you get bought out by a big conglomerate, the problem is eventually they start crossing T's, dotting I's, and next thing you know, you're on the chopping block. And now a really cool distillery is, not done for good, but mothballed or whatever you want to call it, just not making whiskey for a bit. So it is like you said, Sean, a sign of the times. Yeah,
I mean Diageo, they are pretty on record for talking about their losses in the last year are huge, like 25% down. So you lose a quarter of your revenue and something's going to change.
Yeah. And we're all feeling horrible for Diageo, I'm sure. Jeremy, I feel like Sean and I are just talking here. Do you want to talk about something?
Yeah, there's actually there's a slot here in our whiskey news that I would like to address because I take personal pride in it.
Yep.
And that is that Trav's son Lockie absolutely loves our theme song. Thank you, Lockie. Appreciate you, buddy.
He sings it all the time.
Does he?
Call whiskey podcast. And he's 9 years old. He goes, Dad, the best thing about your podcast is the song. The rest sucks.
Does he actually say that?
Oh yeah, he chirps me all the time. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to the podcast, but the song's good. So we got that.
Send him the actual song. I'm just going to send it to him.
Yes, please do.
He can listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, 9 years old, just ripping apart our podcast already. I'm like, give us a chance to gel here. We don't even have names for all our segments. Crying all out. Sean, you talk about the world's oldest whiskey because these are like you usually get invited to these things.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be getting invited to this one. So yes, was it 2022 or 2021 when I was there? Yeah, got to go to the 80-year release from Gordon MacPhail, and then of course that wasn't good enough. Macallan had to try and up them, and we all know where they sourced that cask from. And then Gordon MacPhail said, yeah, well, try this one, and just released an 85-year-old single malt. So, yeah, it's huge. It's oldest single malt ever released. The packaging of this one is insane. And, yeah, it sounds like some people got to try it, or there was a big release event in Scotland, and yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun. Who knows if they'll do a world tour like they did last time? I think there's way less bottles made of this one, but
right,
we can always hope.
Who's going to get invited to one of those events and taste it and then write a shitty review? Like no one. no one's gonna be like, I'm not a fan. Like it's a guaranteed. Everyone's gonna love it, and if you don't, you're gonna get like mocked.
That's
Waiting
true.
for the first review. Oh, this 85-year-old's a little youthful.
Well, you both tasted the 80-year-old, right? I'm the only one here that has not ever
Yeah.
tried anything over like whatever. How was the 80-year-old?
The 80-year-old was cool. It was a cool experience for sure. And I think like James, when we got to shoot that bottle for them before the release, and James was saying, he was like, I think it was like after around the 40-year mark, it doesn't change that much, right? So if you've had a whiskey around the 40-year mark that you've been blown away by, like I found the 80 was a cool experience because at the time it was the oldest whiskey released. It was very good, but it wasn't like exponentially better than a 40-year release, if that makes sense.
I'm going to say this. We started this podcast for a few reasons, but I'm really just hoping that James Bourne will invite me to one of his fucking launch events at some point.
Just one.
Just one, James.
Just one, James. Come on.
Just invite me to the launch of like anything. I don't know. It doesn't have to be the 85-year-old whiskey, but for crying out loud, James, notice me.
Pay attention.
Pay attention to me, James. All right, last one up there. Actually, Sean, you were texting with this guy a bit.
Oh, is that the other distiller that has left?
Are we breaking news again?
Probably, yes.
We're getting good
just
at
like
that.
last time we broke this news, we'll have this person on our next podcast so he can clarify if we said something stupid. But yeah, a great friend of ours, Tim Hobbit, has left Gretzky Distillery, and as far as I know, he left them in really good hands. Gave them a years long plan of stuff to release, and he's actually headed over to Dylan's. So I don't know how much I can say, so I'm not going to say too much. But yeah, he's over at Dylan's. He's officially started there, and he's pretty excited about the move and excited about the future that he and the Dylan's team will get to forge themselves.
And like we broke the news about, well, we think we broke it, about Caitlin Quinn leaving Eau Claire in the last episode. We're kind of hopefully maybe opening, maybe not breaking news, but we're going to have Caitlin on today to tell us about sort of what happened there and her new job and everything else. And then our next episode, we're going to have Tim on to talk about what happened there and his new gig. So two Canadian, well, not Canadian, but two Canadian resident master distillers born in other countries, but working in Canada. And
two Canadians with distinctly Scottish accents.
yeah.
Not Canadian accents, yeah.
So,
but Caitlin was born in Canada, which is cool. But
true. Well, we should probably get her side of all of this.
Should we bring her on?
Yeah, let's do it. Has she been pre-gaming like us, so she's as funny as us?
I have no idea. We're about to find out. All right, let's get Caitlin in here.
It's our first time doing this live segue right into a recording. It's not like when you go on a big... There she is.
Hi, Caitlin.
were you able to hear us?
I couldn't hear you when I was in the waiting room, no.
Oh,
That's a shame.
It's not like when you're on like the phone for like a radio station, you can hear them talking about you before you're about to go on.
Well, we were talking about you. No, we just broke the news that that Tim Hobbit left Wayne Gretzky and is over at Dylan's now.
Oh.
And in fact, sort of how last month we broke the news about you, and now you're joining us. We broke the news about Tim tonight, and next month Tim is actually going to come on and do this very segment with us. So
there's like an ongoing theme. You just keep announcing people leaving companies.
yes, if we have 1 month to find another one to bring.
We're gonna start trying to just
Someone else,
predict them next. Yeah, it'll be like, I think this person's up next.
I could probably give you some inside info on a couple.
Okay, yes, you're hired.
Oh, there you go.
We just start texting them once a week. So, did you leave yet?
Like when I find other people jobs, I'll just be like, oh, they're going to leave next.
Yeah. Whether it's true or not, we're just going to start rumors too.
Yeah, exactly. Like it'll just be like the rumors section of the podcast.
Yeah, I was. Well, when we started talking about it, you listened, and we were like, are we supposed to talk about this? But we were already talking about it, so we were trying to be careful. We will get into that and sort of where you're at now. But I think this is our Cask Me Anything segment.
Mm-hmm.
Very creatively written by ChatGPT, and we mostly, I think, it's a lot of it is going to follow the same kind of ideas, like kind of how you got onto whiskey originally, and then kind of talk about what you're doing now and stuff like that. But I guess I think the first question will almost always be like, how did you get into whiskey? I know Sean just mentioned you were actually born in Canada.
Yes.
Which would be confusing for people listening to this.
But this doesn't sound Canadian, everyone, no.
But yeah, how did it all get started for you, Caitlin?
So yeah, I guess like very, very beginning times. Born in Winnipeg. Was there for a solid 18 months of my life before we moved back to Scotland. Mum is Scottish, dad is Canadian. So have dual nationality, which then was very helpful. After I did chemistry degree, master's in brewing and distilling at Heriot-Watt, so kind of the internationally renowned school for everyone who's getting education in brewing and distilling. And then got offered a job in Canada. I had the dual nationality, so just had to apply for my passport and come over. Thought I'll do a year, see how it feels. And I think I'm just over 10 years now. I was 10 years at the beginning of August that I've been back in Canada.
Wow.
So yeah, kind of did the chemistry degree, decided that I didn't want to be in a lab for the rest of my life, or at least like not your typical lab. And I wanted to actually drink what I was making, so decided to switch over, do my master's in brewing and distilling, and actually be able to use the chemistry degree and use the science background, but in a more practical way. I always was going to be in industry instead of research. Like research just wasn't where I wanted to be, even starting with chemistry. And anyone that knows James, my other half, he has his PhD and is now doing his postdoc in chemistry. Very smart, but regrets his life choices on a daily basis because I get to make whiskey every day.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was kind of like the quick and dirty of it, like many twists and turns over the last decade being in the industry, but it definitely was something I thought of pretty early in my career. Like I wanted to specifically be in distilling. I have my degree in brewing as well, but didn't want to make beer.
Yeah, that's fair. I know over the years, we've crossed paths many times, whether it's at festivals or being in master classes together for some weird reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one thing that I've always found is that you are genuine. You've never like beat around the bush or anything. You'll say it as straight as it is. Or if there's something you can't say, you'll pull somebody aside and tell them anyways. But it's kind of what we're doing here. We're pulling you aside and letting you kind of tell your side of the story. So obviously you got hired, came over to Canada, and then what was your favorite product that you made there, or what was it like being the master distiller at a craft Canadian single malt producer?
I think like so many things, like when we started, there was no single malt. So like the plan was always to be a single malt distillery, but I started in year 2. So like not even, it was like 6 months after we kind of fully started producing. So there was vodkas and gins and white spirits and all of that kind of stuff. But whiskey was going into barrels, but nothing was of age as of yet, because I started 2015 and our first whiskey was 2017. So I had a solid 2 years before we ever had whiskey to blend and actually work with. So like to start with, I would say favorite ever product would be first ever product, so the Christmas gin. That was kind of like my very first project. Came in, made that probably within the first 3 months of being there. Then we introduced a bunch of different stuff. And then the whole move into RTDs was probably my least favorite part. Learning carbonation. Surprised it's not something you learn at Heriot Watt doing brewing and distilling. You don't learn how to carbonate RTDs. Learning the equipment, the different packaging stuff. That was probably by far the worst part of the whole experience for me. And the least creative, because I learned very quickly that it's a very different market than the spirits market. So you go in and people are cutthroat. If it's not the cheapest and they want it to taste sweet without being sweet, they want the illusion of sweetness, but they want it to be low sugar or low calorie or no gluten or something. So that was thankless work for a lot of years. And then, like 2017, we brought out the first batch of whiskey, which was probably the most terrifying point in my career. I was, 26? Never had blended a whiskey before, working with spirit that someone else had made, and only a handful of barrels to work with, so nothing to hide behind, not a ton of options when you're blending it. So that one was definitely most terrifying. And then probably absolute favourite over the tenure is the whole Yours Truly project. So like the International Women's Day project. Less so for the liquid itself, and like some years it was standout liquid and really like high quality single malt whiskey, but more just the concept of it and getting all of the females in the distillery together to blend the product together and have that as like the only single malt that I know that is like released for International Women's Day.
And the last batch of Yours Truly was like so good.
Yes, yeah. Well, and I take zero credit for Yours Truly. Like, we fully let everyone in the distillery play around. So I think last year we had our marketing manager and one of the apprentice distillers who we kind of meshed both of their flavour profiles together when we were doing the blending session and came out with the final product. So I was more there to facilitate and try and refine their flavour profiles, but it's definitely not driven by me flavour-wise at all.
Was that Ange? Was she?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm remembering this now. That's awesome.
Well, and she walked in being like, I can't make whiskey. It's going to be terrible. Mine will be the worst one. And it was the final recipe, essentially.
That's so awesome.
I don't think people, I for sure know, not everyone knows, but Jeremy, you did like a lot of photography for Eau Claire. Like that was a pretty fun gig for you, heading out to the distillery once a year.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was for a number of years. And then they would send me product often as well. So I do shoots locally as well, which was awesome because I got to try like pretty much everything that they were producing there. So it was a pretty fun experience. Yeah.
Yeah, you took some good pictures. That Stampede Rye was a fun bottle. I don't know if you've
so fun
that one. Yeah,
I did.
What was, Caitlin? You talked about the RTDs, but can you give us an idea of like what the percentages were? Because you guys were making so much different stuff, but like what percentage of, maybe I don't want to talk about, maybe not production, but like sales, like RTDs versus the gin versus the whiskey. Like what were you sitting at there? Because we obviously are whiskey people, but I don't even know. Yeah.
It changed a lot over the years. Like obviously our single malt historically was batch release. So like in that month that we released it, it was like 95% of the sales, but over the course of the year, obviously it wasn't available the full year most years. Rupert's was for sure our highest by volume sales anyway, and then closely followed by parlour gin some years. Like gin has went down quite a bit recently, but some years it was like our second kind of lead horse, and then the Equinox Meal, the RTD, like people love that.
That mule.
It's crazy because I remember the first time I went to an event at the new Rogers Arena, and I think it was Alanis Morissette with my wife, and I like, skipped work, called in sick for I'd missed my flight, called in sick, and then we were at Rogers, and I walked up to, we were gonna go get a drink before the show started. I'm like, it's all Eau Claire product for like for the alcohol, except for the beer, obviously. And I was like, that's awesome. Then obviously the Rupert's has the Oilers version, and yeah, it blew me away. And of course, we ordered a bunch of it, spent
Sean
in one purchase.
Oh, was it? I was gonna say, is it safe to say that at the Alanis Morrison concert you had one hand in your pocket and the other one on an Eau Claire?
Yes, that's where I was going with it. Isn't it ironic?
I was just waiting for the tiniest gap to get that joke in. I had to do that.
John, you ought to know that we were going to go there.
I was looking over my shoulder, Caitlin, because I did have Eau Claire's your first ever whiskey release.
Yeah.
But then when you presented at Drams for Fans this year, I actually took the bottle off my shelf and we auctioned it off and raised a bunch of money for the food bank. And now I'm very much regretting it because I'm like, oh yeah, it used to be right up there. And the $500 or whatever we raised, the food bank spent that already. Whereas the bottle would still be here if I hadn't done that. So.
I do have a half-size bottle of batch one.
Yeah, I was going to say batch one was the fun one because we ran out of packaging halfway through and had to move to the 375s because we had more liquid than we thought.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have batch 1 through 6 of the releases, and then actually one of our after drams tonight, we are going to be sipping on this one.
Nice.
The 10th anniversary one.
Yeah.
And I know the three of us have a special version of that as well, thanks to Jeremy and the crew at Eau Claire. We'll be sipping on the regular one tonight, but yeah, that's honestly, this one is probably my favorite release.
Yes.
From
flavor
Eau
profile wise, is probably the best one that we ever brought out.
And it actually shares a similarity and a connection with the Canada Cloud Cask because they
which is what I'm drinking.
Look at you go.
There you go.
Oh, the smile on your face is when she pulled that out.
Yeah, the PX Bodega cask comes from the same bodega for both those releases. So
yeah, they're having a Spinola bodega.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love Cask Me Anything is just going to turn into Sean telling the guest how many bottles he owns of their whiskeys.
Yeah.
I got
I'm just here for show and tell.
every edition you've ever released, and I have a backup bottle of each just in case. And in the bunker, I have a third bottle of versions 1 through 6. So Caitlin, obviously we started talking about it there in the last episode, but you're no longer with Eau Claire, which is for us it's a little sad, I guess, because we kind of all have connections with you and obviously the distillery and everything. So I guess that's one of the reasons why we texted you immediately, but like to kind of just tell us what happened and how you're feeling about everything.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years is a long time to be anywhere. Let alone like a craft distillery. Like I was employee number 6. So I saw it right from essentially doors opening, no product on the shelf. Like I think there was 2 products on the shelf when I first started, the vodka and the gin, the 3-point in the parlour. And God knows, like I couldn't even count how many SKUs there were when I left, like between all the different formats of all the different bottles and everything, but hundreds, if not thousands of different SKUs over the years that I was there. And it was a very different place from when I went in. Like I went in and it was very craft. It was very, everyone did a bit of everything. And rightly so, after 10 years, every company is going to change. And like nothing against Eau Claire. Like they had to change. They had to stay with the times. Like whiskey sales are down internationally. Like Scottish whiskey is posting negatives for the first time ever. Like you have to kind of change and evolve to keep up with the industry. But I just kind of decided that it wasn't for me anymore, and I wanted to kind of branch out and kind of round out my skill set a little bit better. So I've went now to an industrial producer. So complete polar opposite. Like every day is complete polar opposite to what it was at Eau Claire. I'm 0% the public face of the new company, like less than 0% the public face. Like will probably never be a representative of this brand ever in my life. And most people associate me so strongly with like public speaking and masterclasses and being at all the whiskey shows. Like that's how I know all of you guys. That's how I know a lot of people in the whiskey industry. But strangely, I did a chemistry degree and then a master's in brewing and distilling, not to be in public speaking and doing masterclasses. I was there for the production side of things. So I'm kind of getting back to that now. And learning the kind of industrial side of things, so continuous distillation, column distillation, massive like volumes produced, and higher kind of stakes for downtime and stuff like that. So it's fun, and I'm learning something new every single day. So it's just, I feel like I'll be more well-rounded having done both, and I wanted to go somewhere where I know like process and I know the theory behind everything. But I wanted to go somewhere where I knew nothing, because at Eau Claire, I was the one that knew everything. So like literally from day one, I was there. So it's like any historical knowledge, where keys were for things, where historically we'd ordered things for people. Like it was constantly me that they would come to, because I had all of the historic knowledge. And now I'm polar opposite. I know nothing. I've been there for 2 months now. So like I have no historical knowledge. Like I can chime in a little bit, and like I've found out things along the way, but like it's the polar opposite. Like I love it because every day is different and every day is challenging, and like I'm using parts of my brain I've not used in years.
Like 50,000 liters at Eau Claire to 20 million liters where you are now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know, like, I guess I can say, like, if anyone went on my LinkedIn, they'd know where I work, but I'm working for Alberta Distillers now. So still in Calgary, but much bigger and different scale.
So it's.
So do you go?
Oh, I was just gonna say, whereabouts, like where in Calgary is this distillery? I've been to Calgary 100 times. I have no idea where it is.
So it's kind of like not downtown, but close to downtown. It's like Ogden kind of area, very close to, like it's kind of between Deerfoot and Glenmore.
Okay.
But yeah, like kind of very central, like heart of Calgary. Kind of Calgary was built around it almost.
And can
Trav, I guarantee you've driven past it 100 times and just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, now that we're famous podcast hosts, can we come there? Like, are we allowed to visit there?
Sure, I'm sure I could probably give you the tour.
James won't invite me to anything, but Caitlin probably will.
So, Caitlin, I'm really happy that you found something close to home, but I was secretly hoping you were going to end up closer to me out west.
Yeah, like Jeremy kind of had an inside scoop, because as I was like interviewing for places, there was one that was very close to Jeremy. So we met up for lunch after I did my interview.
Yeah. That's also kind of where we got first wind of what was going on.
Yep.
Which is hilarious. Now, have you seen this Forbes article? A recent Forbes article about Eau Claire?
Yes. Yeah. Which, the one, I have seen it. To us reading it, it sounded like a paid-for propaganda piece. But did you happen to see the one comment on the piece? Yes, I did. Yeah. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out who wrote said comment, because I can't figure out who would have wrote it and not told me that they wrote it.
I've asked everyone I know there were some people that I was like, I'm pretty sure it was this person. And they're like, no, seriously, it wasn't me.
I had like 3 dead sets that I formally accused as soon as I read it, and not one of them has owned up to it.
They may never own up to it.
No.
It'd just be silent forever. It was great.
But the thing is, like, I didn't see the comment initially. It was someone else had pointed out the comment because I'd read the article when it first came out and then didn't think anything of it. And then, like, 2 weeks later, someone sent me the comment, and I was like, "Oh."
So the article was a Forbes article pumping Eau Claire's tires, saying everything that's going on. People can Google it, but what were your thoughts on the article?
I think it's always hard. Typically, your master distiller, head of production for the last 10 years isn't also your public face. So, like, most people can kind of like leave and there's not too big of a ripple. I think I was too ingrained in the whiskey industry here, like specifically Alberta, but like Canada kind of as well. So it's harder to just not acknowledge when I leave because a lot of people are asking questions now. So I think if it potentially had been announced that I was leaving, it would be less of a surprise to people that something like that would come out.
That's fair. That's very diplomatic.
That was very diplomatic of you.
Very diplomatic.
Because I was pissed.
Yeah, I was gonna go the other way and be like, it was very mansplained how things work there, and obviously the comment pointed out you didn't mention a single thing from the past 10 years of the history of the brand. But like obviously those of us that are in the know better. But yeah, it was honestly like we saw the article and then Jeremy's like, did you see the comment? And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But
well, and I think
said,
honestly, like
your back, and that's
article was probably more geared towards an American audience. So the American audience obviously don't really know me. Like we don't really have a presence in the US. So they probably just decided we'll just skip over that part and not have to explain why Caitlin's not here anymore and just continue on with like the new normal. Obviously, because they shared it on socials and stuff like that, people internally in Canada then read it and are confused by the fact that I'm not mentioned. But I think, they kind of geared it very much towards the American point of view.
Well, I think even if it was geared towards the Americans, I was still pissed. So I just want you to know that.
I'll play devil's advocate and just say, like, obviously a brand, and this is, the brand has to move on, right? So they are gonna do what is in the best interest of them, which is not talking about the fantastic distiller that left the company. They need to move on and make money. So I understand what they're doing. It's just obviously, like you said, it's hard to read it and be like, "Oh, I did some of that stuff."
Yeah. Well, and I think like the reality of it is like for the next 10, 12, 20 years, like they're releasing product that I made or I had a hand in making. Yeah. So like that's the hardest part in this industry is walking away from your life's work, essentially. I started there when I was 24. I did 10 years of work there. My liquid is still there. It's not mine though. It's Eau Claire's, but like you still feel emotionally attached to it. Like you put blood, sweat and tears into it. A lot of it is like experimental stuff that I was looking forward to bringing out, and then it's going to be brought out under someone else's name and all that kind of stuff. So like that's the hardest part as a whiskey maker, having to walk away from that and like choose a new path because you're leaving all of that behind.
It's like when you get divorced and the stepdad starts raising your kids. And you're like, those are my children. Those are my children. And someone else is taking all the,
That is the most wild comparison.
It's not that far off, though, Jeremy. You're laughing like that was not a bad analogy.
I think you meant your children's stepdad, not your stepdad. So I think that's where it got a bit confusing.
Yeah, sorry, not my stepdad. My children's. Yeah, I made my kids. You made the whiskey. Someone else is raising your whiskey now. Someone else is taking care of my kids. It's a very apt analogy. Caitlin, I had to ask you this because everyone always tells me how hard rye is to work with. Is it as horrible as people say?
Yes, it's worse than people say. People don't tell you the real story is the worst thing you will ever work with in your entire life. There's nothing nice about it. For us at Eau Claire, when we were making rye, we were making it with a barley system. For anyone that doesn't know, barley has a husk. It creates its own filter beds There's specialized equipment that allow it to make its own filter beds. Rye does not have its own husk, and it turns into glue when you mash it. So trying to bypass the barley system with the glue without a filter bed, and every pump we used solid pumps, like we were literally using like a cider pump that pumps apple cores, could not pump the rye. It was so thick. We couldn't run, we had like our boiler at max. You have to boil rye. We had our boiler at max. We couldn't run anything else in the distillery when we were doing the rye. Everything had to be shut down. Every steam valve closed so that we could get all the steam we possibly could to this rye cooker.
Gosh.
It was absolute hell. Like that release of Ploughman's Rye, if anyone has a bottle, like cherish it with your life, because my literal blood, sweat and tears ran out. Like I was in my hands and knees unplugging every pump, every hose in the distillery every day of production.
I know when you told that story on the last podcast, and like
Yeah.
I obviously had that bottle. I'm like, yeah, I'm not drinking this anymore.
Yeah.
This is gonna stay safe for a while. And then it's weird because of that story, anybody else I've talked to that's made rye, I'm like, is it really turned into glue and concrete? And they're like, oh yeah, cleaning the machines is the worst.
Yeah, like if you're set up for it, it's better. Like if you have the equipment, if you're set up to do grain in fermentation, we did not ferment on grains. We did not distill on grains. We had to with the rye, so we had to bypass a bunch of equipment and use hoses and everything gets stuck. If you're set up for it, it's probably slightly better. We were also using the horse farmed rye that was unmalted, which is an extra layer of hell because unmalted grain is even harder to work with than malted grain. So it was a whole other thing, but I would not recommend it to anyone. I fought it till my final day there that I would never do another rye whiskey, like produce another rye whiskey within the walls of Eau Claire. God knows what will happen now. I'm sure it will eventually happen and someone else will feel that pain. I'm just glad I won't be there.
Which is funny that you work at a rye producer mostly.
Yes, yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
Obviously,
like
completely.
when you're set up for it, very different.
Yeah.
It's probably the reason why everyone just buys their rye from Alberta, because it's just like we'll just buy it and we'll add it to our blends or whatever.
Yes.
And then not.
And honestly, like I would buy rye new make and put it in barrels. I would buy like aged rye. Like it's done better other places. It's kind of like the whole argument over like Canadian whiskey not being Scottish whiskey. It's like we're not trying to do something we can't do well.
Yeah.
Like there's no point in everyone just trying to do everything. Like if you do something well, like if you're set up for single malt, just lean in and do single malt. Don't try and do every grain known to man. Like some people do it well. Some people are just struggle through it for no purpose.
Amazing. Okay, Caitlin, one more question for you here.
Yeah.
So you've left Eau Claire, you're now with Alberta Distillers. What does like the next 5 years look like for you?
Honestly, if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I'd be here now, I'd like literally would not believe you. Like it seems like 5 years seems like such a long way to plan now. I think like if I was to say the next year to 2 years, like I'd like to get to a point where I fully understand like both sides of the industry, the industrial side, the craft side, like be able to talk to both ends of the spectrum and understand the challenges with each one, the pros and cons, like why people do industrial and why they do it a certain way and how they do it, and same thing on the craft side. I think ultimately I would love to get back into more creative stuff. Like right now I'm like pure production, like there is zero in the way of like whiskey making or like creative process for me right now anyway. So I would like to get more into the creative side of things, whether that's within my current role or outside of work. So like kind of like working with other distilleries and using the skills that I built up over the 10 years with Eau Claire and kind of using that to help other people with their processes or help people with recipe development or whatever, or telling everyone in the world not to make rye.
While you're at Alberta Distillers, can you try and convince them to bring back the Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Oh,
People still clamor about that, and
very true.
there's like probably less than a dozen bottles still sitting on store shelves somewhere, just waiting
Yeah.
to be found. I check every little mom and pop store I go into just to see if it's sitting there. And
Just see if it's like a dust covered bottle that's been there for
Yeah.
years.
exactly,
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a really nice product, actually.
Yeah.
It was what it was. It fit
Mhm.
it fit a certain spot on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing. It's like a lot of people look at the industrial producers and they're like, they don't make good products. And it's like, it's not always true. There's good product, there's volume product, but there is still like really nice stuff coming out of a lot of the industrial producers, especially in Alberta and Canada in general.
Is there sorry, because we're gonna have to kick you off soon because we've already got our 10-minute maximum.
I watched the first one and it's like, we're going to try and keep it under an hour. I was like, it's never going to happen. Like, the amount of B-roll you guys will have if you're trying to keep it to an hour.
Yeah, we'll figure it. Well, you know what, Caitlin, don't doubt us, okay? I'm sorry. As we're wrapping that part up, I had to ask you because you were slated to present at Drams for Fams again in 2026.
I knew you were going to use this opportunity because I had emailed you back.
Yeah, and so my question is, can you like bring something like kind of like cool from the depths of the warehouses, or like
Potentially, I need to ask like 10 layers of people if I'm allowed to. I also have other plans though. I will present. I just don't know what I'm going to present yet.
All right, so you're in though.
Yes, I'll be in. I will 100% be there. I have a couple of plans. One is a bit out there and I need to talk to like multiple people to see if I can make it work.
Don't reveal any secrets. Do you want to be first again, or do you want to be a few drams in before talking to 120 people?
I honestly don't care either way. Like I can go first, I can go last, I can go in the middle, like whatever works.
Perfect. That's the kind of guest speaker I like to hear.
Yeah, like zero. Like I can talk well enough when I'm very drunk, so I don't mind if I'm last as well.
Yeah, that's a true Canadian there.
Yep, I've been training for this day.
Well, thanks a lot, Caitlin. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks for telling your story and being our
Anytime.
first Cask Me Anything guest.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
I was first.
Yeah,
I think we nailed the questions for sure. You did all right, but we definitely
I
nailed.
did okay. Like I was okay. I was here for show and tell of all Sean's balls, so at least someone could witness it.
It's the best sign of a good interview are really good questions. That's the real good.
ChatGPT, the just solid there.
Yeah, ChatGPT. What should we ask Caitlin on our show?
Caitlin Quinn, distiller questions.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank you
good
so much,
show.
Caitlin. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Love you all.
You too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was fun. What do we keep it at? 30 minutes?
Yeah, no shit.
Actually,
down to 10:06. I'm like,
I just looked at my watch. 30 minutes.
30 minutes with her. I texted you guys before we started. I'm like, there's no way we're going to be able to keep her to 10 minutes.
No, I'm not.
No.
I mean, it's not her fault. We just kept asking her questions. She actually kept her answers quite reasonable, but we just have too many questions.
The first podcast that when we interviewed her, we were on the call with her for 2.5 hours. Like,
Oh yeah, it's
like it's
you don't have to talk about it like it's some unnamed. It lost in translation when we had her on. You're like that one podcast that we used to host. It's called Lost in Translation. You guys can look up the episode. Just search Lost in Translation. It's in the archive.
What's funny is when Caitlin said, like, if you would have asked her 5 years ago what her future plans were, that episode was recorded probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, and she's probably like,
Four years ago.
I'm going to work at Eau Claire forever. We should be like polite. I don't think this is meant to be like a huge knock on Eau Claire. When I kind of said they're a business and they have to do what a business has to do. They can't be like going around talking about the distiller that left. That clearly makes no sense, right? So it's a business. Everyone's trying to make a living, and And like when I fired Dave Robert from PWS, I'm not going to tell everyone I fired Dave Robert and have a memorial tour. He's just going to we're just going to delete him. We're going to delete him from the company email list, and that's it. I'm not going to talk about Dave and make people miss Dave. Oh boy. Should we talk about it?
You're gonna get so many questions.
They're like, you're firing Dave? I might.
Including the first one is going to be from your neighbor, Dave.
He lives across the alley. I'm just ripping him apart on the podcast.
Oh man,
He was in Calgary. He went to Calgary last week on a road trip. I can't rip apart Dave. He's doing great.
Trav all of a sudden has the one corner fence 10 feet tall and points towards Dave's house.
I changed the gate code so he can't come back. He's gone forever, boys. Gone forever. Should we do our first ever whiskey club shout out?
yeah, let's do it.
Because we should probably speed up the rest now. We decided to once an episode just call out and give some props to a Canadian whiskey club, because we've talked about this probably on that other podcast that we're not allowed to talk about ever. We can't say the name of it. We have, I think, the best whiskey scene in the world.
Yeah.
I think the Canadian whiskey scene is so cool. How we know, like Caitlin is just a perfect example. Like you start meeting her at events, and next thing you know, you're like, you can text with her and ask her questions, and we have great whiskey clubs across this country that I think deserve a little recognition. And so, like, all 14 people that watch this on YouTube will know now about this club, which I think is super cool. So, our first whiskey club shout out is the Quebec Whiskey Club, and they are in Quebec City. And cool little side story, I actually got to present to them last February. So that's why I thought it'd be kind of fun to give them a little shout out. So they were formed in 2008. They have, I'm not sure how many members. Their events have, I believe, 40 to 50 members per event. And their events are in the first ever prison in Canada, in Quebec City. It's like this cool old building. After the tasting, I got to go into the old cells and stuff. Really, really the best venue of any whiskey club for sure in Canada. There's no beating that venue.
That's so cool.
I asked how many club casks they did. They did a Kilchoman cask, which is kind of cool because we're reviewing Kilchoman 15. They did a Kilchoman cask for their 10th anniversary in 2018. And then they did an Ardnamurchan for their 15th anniversary. So pretty cool. They've done 2 casks. They meet up 2 to 3 times a month, which is that's a lot for a whiskey club. That's impressed.
We can barely get together one night a month to record. Yeah. They get together 3 times a month to just drink.
Yeah, it's very cool. I don't know if it's all like full blown tastings or what, but I know they've had like presenters from all over Canada. And I asked, like, do you have any cool fun facts? Because you guys know me, I love my fun facts. And Andre, there's a couple guys that run the club, but I was just texting with Andre, and he said we have a lot of female members, and they also have a lot of members that are in their 20s. So like some younger whiskey drinkers.
That's awesome.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
Another fun fact, they have one of the biggest whiskey review databases, 6,000 reviews they've done on whiskey. So every whiskey you present to them, they actually keep a little sample and they'll do a full review of it on their website. So they have over 6,000 reviews, which is awesome. So you go to quebecwhiskey.com on their website and you can check out all their reviews. So yeah, I went there, and I'm in Quebec City, which is more French speaking than Montreal. And I'm an English speaking whiskey guy. And after my presentation, a couple people came up, and they're going to love my French accent, but they were like, "Hey, Travis, I don't speak English, but I think you're very good." Like that. That's my French accent.
They were like, I have no idea what you said, but I really enjoyed it.
But basically, they were like, I didn't understand everything you said, but We appreciate your enthusiasm and you coming here. And I was like, what a friggin' cool club, and just super nice people. Ended up going out for beers after. And the Quebec Whiskey Club. There you go.
Very cool.
Go check them out. What's up next?
Reviews, baby.
Woo! Finally, for me and Sean.
I can't wait to watch you guys drink these whiskeys.
We can speed this up now, though, because we're already at an hour. So we can speed this part up because it's really just two of us talking about whiskeys that Jared hasn't drank. So the three whiskeys, we got the GlenAllachie 12. Is this do they have batch numbers on them? Is this like a certain, or is it just consistent now?
I think it's just a consistent core release now.
Okay, so this is the one that just came in. So let's say maybe 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're pretty batch dependent. Anyways, whiskey number 2, the Enigma Lowland 11-year. Whiskey number 3, Kilchoman 15-year, 20th anniversary, limited edition. All sherry cask whiskeys today.
Yeah, so we kind of went with a sherry theme, obviously, but we also picked 3 whiskeys that are from 3 different regions in Scotland. We can talk about whether regions even matter anymore. Originally, they were classified by taste profiles and obviously geography, but we can get into that while we're going through these. At least Jeremy can talk a little bit.
Yeah, Jared can talk about the region. So whiskey number 1, GlenAllachie 12. Actually, this is one of James Bourne's whiskeys, so I'm not going to talk about this one.
No, you should talk about it.
Oh, I'm going to bash this one. I'm going to bash this one until I get an invite to one of his fancy parties.
This
Sean, you talk about it.
So obviously, core range, 46% ABV. It's sherry cast, obviously, but there's a few different casts that go into it. It's sherry, American oak, some red wine casks, I believe, and PX and Oloroso, I think, are the 2 sherries. Did that all by memory. The one really cool thing about this is it was recently crowned the world's best single malt at the 2025 World Whiskey Awards.
Really?
So this is the number 1 single malt in the world, according to those awards.
So glad you guys get to taste that while I sit here and not taste it.
Do you think when they won that award that James threw a party that I wasn't invited to?
I didn't hear about it.
No. So none of us were invited.
Jeremy might have been.
I wasn't.
I tasted this. This is my second time tasting. I poured all 3 of these blind last week after I got the samples. And what I said was, I don't know if there's ever been a whiskey in the last 5 years that tasted exactly like I thought it would. Like it's GlenAllachie. It's lots of sherry. It's tasty. It's crushable. I don't know, like.
Yeah, it's a Billy Walker whiskey. It's a Billy Walker cask managed whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something he made. It's something he developed along the way with the stock he had. And I mean, it's exactly what you think it is. I found when I first sampled it, I found it actually drank a little bit hotter than 46. Now, it was also had a fairly fresh palate. I'm not getting as much heat tonight as I did the first time. But what's interesting is, like, everybody thinks Billy Walker, it's just sherry, sherry, sherry on top of sherry. But I still find tonight that the virgin oak and red wine, I'm able to pick them out.
So, because I've been drinking Glendronach 12 just kind of as my base whiskey tonight. And then I'm just having this GlenAllachie 12, and just like exactly what you're saying, that the virgin oak and the red wine, it has a freshness to it.
Yeah.
More so than you would think when you think of like a sherry bomb. There's definitely more of a freshness to it that would be from that the wine casks and the virgin oak.
Yeah, it's like the virgin oak gives it that little bit of spice, and I find the red wine brings out like a fresher red fruit profile, if that makes any sense. Like berries instead of figs and raisins.
I think that's very fair. I'm just looking at our team spreadsheet here, and I noticed Jeremy didn't even take the time to put his notes down here, which is a little disappointing.
When
Jeremy
did
didn't.
Oh God.
I'm actually drinking while you guys are drinking the 12. I've been sipping on the 11PX, the 15, and the 18. And the 15 is the most recent one I poured. And I got to say, there's something special going on with that 15. The 18 is really good.
A lot of people that I've talked to say the 15 and the 18 are where the GlenAllachie line shines. In that 15 to 18 year range. So and that 11, that's a single cask release, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That was really good.
Jeremy's just peacocking over here. We're drinking 12 here.
I'm sad is what I am, Trav. It's
this one's 46%. Sean, what was the price point on again? I actually have the bottles this time so people would see. What was the price point on these?
So again, this is going to vary region to region. Even it varies pretty wildly in Alberta alone. You can get it from $74 to about $110, $112 at the higher range, and anywhere in between, depending on the store that you go to.
That's a big spread.
Yeah. Let's do buy at the very end, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Like the 74 is at
74 is too. That's like a discounter.
No, it's not a discounter. It's a high volume purchaser.
The tasting notes on the back of the bottle before we move on to number 2: nose hints of dark chocolate, treacle, and heather honey, with cinnamon, espresso, and sticky raisins in the background. And see, they're hinting at more of all those darker sherry notes, but I'm kind of with you, Sean. I'm like, it's at least
right.
Tonight for me, it has more of a fresh note than those darker notes that they're hinting at there. Maybe it'll change after we go through the other one. So
yeah, we'll come back to it for sure.
Okay, whiskey number 2. This was one you really wanted to try on the pod, so you introduced this bad boy.
All right, so this comes from the Cadenhead lineup, their Enigma line. So a lot of the Enigmas have something peculiar or special about them. I think the fact that this is just a lowland single malt, 11 years, and with refill Oloroso. So this one's a little bit limited. There's only 1,590 bottles made of this. Obviously, it came to Alberta, a few different places. Whiskey Drop was nice enough to put a bottle aside for this, and it's very, very cool. It's like lowlands, again, talking about regions. Lowland has always been seen as like the softer side of Scotch. Not a lot of distilleries historically, kind of come and go. Now I think they're up to like 15 or 16 malt distilleries in the lowlands region, which is a lot now. And then obviously my favorite style, the single grains, most of them are produced in the lowlands region as well. But yeah, this one, the fact that it came in sherry casks for a lowland, obviously some of the distilleries release sherried whiskeys, but I know you and I talked about, Trav and Jeremy as well, about trying to pick out where this is from, because you can research everywhere, and I've never seen even somebody take a guess.
No, so this was distilled in 11 years ago. So let's say 2014. And I believe there were 5 lowland distilleries then. Is that right? There was like GlenAllachie and what else was there? GlenAllachie, Auchentoshan, Bladnoch. I think Daffmill was even around in 2014. This is in 2013, so it would have been right around the beginning, but like very few. And now, like you said, there's like 18 to 20 lowland distilleries, which is crazy.
Yeah, like Daffmill, Bladnoch, Glenkitchy, Auchentoshan. And then Alsa Bay, I don't know when they exactly started, but I know it was right around that time. But yeah, there's like over 20 distilleries total now.
Yeah.
And some that we're very familiar with.
Holyrood, Kings Barnes. What are some of the other new ones? Like it's hard to keep up. But let's talk about the region thing after. Let's go through the whiskeys, and then we'll let Jeremy be a part of this shape or form. This whiskey ABV is where is it? 57.5. So we're going from 46 to 57.5. Refill Oloroso. And what the big thing I noticed when I poured this was it was super tight right off the bat. Like this is one of those whiskeys you needed to just pour and just walk away.
Yeah, and after reading your notes on that, I did. I poured it in like I think I waited 45 minutes before I even nosed it.
Yeah. Even tonight, I again sample had been open for a while, but poured it again. And I don't know where you're sitting with this one. I didn't look at your notes. Actually, I'm looking at them now. You're saying, to me, this still has like a fresh, like it doesn't have those typical dark fruit notes for me, but you're kind of saying old school sherry.
But not like old school, like dark sherry. It's like some of the old sherry that we've had, sherry cask whiskeys that we've had, they come across sweeter more than darker, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and I don't know if that's the lowland distillate showing through. You know, they're a lot more floral and fruity, usually. And then
I think it's the refill. I think it's the refill Oloroso versus if this was first fill Oloroso. I think that would more come through
the dark stuff. But I'm saying like the lowland distillate, maybe with the refill Oloroso is perfect match, and they bring out the sweeter side. I also get a little bit like on the palate after we tasted it before. I got more of that nutty side of sherry as well.
Yeah,
like almondy kind of walnuts
for sure. When you first nose this, you're not thinking typical sherry cask.
No, not at all.
In a very good way. I found this one very interesting. Like this is a whiskey for enthusiasts. I would say the GlenAllachie is a whiskey I would pour for absolutely anybody. This is a whiskey for someone who's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I think that fits in with the Enigma line perfectly.
Yeah.
It's going to make you sit there and think about it for a while.
It says on the back, Enigma, something that is mysterious and seems impossible to understand completely. So these were casks that they bottled in the Enigma series are just casks that are unusual, hard to quantify, and perhaps even slightly contradictory, which is super cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, like the Irish one that they released, it's I want to say it says 8-year age statement on it, but it was matured in Ireland for 8 years and then put into a tote and then shipped over to Scotland where they recast it for another, I think it's a 14-year total age. But of course, with Irish whiskey, you can only say the amount of age that it was in Ireland. So you're getting like a 14 or a 16-year whiskey, but legally it's only an 8-year or whatever it was.
Yeah. So it's Cadenhead is like got a crazy selection of cool, weird, and they've just decided this Enigma line is like new in the last couple of years. And they're like, these are just casks that are just cool and funky and different, which is, I didn't completely understand that until just now, to be completely honest. Like I didn't know what the Enigma line was all about, and now I'm more intrigued.
Yeah, it's part of the reason I wanted to try this on the podcast was I've had a few of them, and they're all weirdos. Like they're all misfits or weirdos, or something's weird about why they picked it. And this one, yeah, like, it's 57.5. It drinks hot. Hotter than 46, obviously, and I still think that the refill Oloroso was probably the perfect pick for this.
Yeah. The flavor chart on the back of the bottle is saying mostly sweet and fruity. And then it's also saying not to drink if you have a beer belly and a ponytail. So there's good information there for safety.
I think I got my hair cut yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the beer belly, but luckily no ponytail, so I'm good. Okay, so I actually quite like this whiskey.
Yes, I do as well. I was very pleasantly surprised. And then cost on this one, again, super hard to get. Don't even know if it's available anymore, but 110 to 120 is the range that I found it in. So
$10 a year for a cask strength, almost a single cask, probably 3-4 casks, but that's pretty good value, I'd say. Jer, what do you think of the whiskey, Jer?
I think I'm going to buy this one.
Yeah.
For one, based on what I'm hearing, for 110, 120, I'm on board. Sign me up.
Well, let's not do the not buy yet. Yeah, don't get ahead of ourselves. I know you haven't been able to talk for a bit here, but let's hold off on that part. We got one more whiskey to drink together as a crew.
I want to know, did Jeremy like pour something adjacent to this one?
Oh, for number 3?
Man, I started looking through my shelves and then I just gave up. I was like, I'm going to be looking for 2 years to find something. I have a couple Lowlands in there, but they're buried.
Whiskey number 3 belonged in the last podcast. It would have been cool to compare this to the 3 Isla sherry casks that we did.
That would have been very cool, actually.
Yeah.
We originally had planned that, but the bottles didn't arrive in Alberta overall soon enough. So
right,
we did push this one to episode 2. I guess another fairly hard to find bottle now, but hey, the beauty of this is by the time this airs, the sample packs for the first 2 episodes will be available to buy at whiskey.com. I think that's their address.
We're not there yet, Sean.
I just went there.
Slow down.
Okay, you need to introduce this whiskey because
it's .ca.
Yeah, but Kilchoman, we all know it's the second best distiller in Isla, and can you tell us a little bit about it? Or are you?
Well, the reason that this exists is it's the 20th anniversary of Kilchoman. Yeah. So they released 4 special bottles. There was a 2 14 years, a bourbon and a sherry cask, a 18-year, and then this 15-year. If you see a picture of all 4 of them, there's a very good reason why we picked this one. Is dark AF, as the kids say. 6'7".
Very dark.
Yeah. Yeah, so cask strength 52.7. It's a blend of, just trying to bring up the info. You have the bottle there, don't you? So it's a vatting of 5 Oloroso butts that were filled in 2008 and 2009. So, yeah.
So there's actually some 16-year-old whiskey in here as well.
Yeah,
or close to 16.
Yeah.
Oldest whiskey ever released by them?
Well, the 18-year would be the oldest that they've released. And that was part of the series. So,
okay. So not the oldest.
Yeah. No. Now, one cool thing is anytime you see them do any videos for launches or anything, they always go in the warehouse and they always stand by cask number 1, the first one they ever filled. And you can actually enter a draw to buy, I think, a bottle or win a bottle of cask number 1. It's live right now. So not very many distilleries do that, where they auction off part of the first ever cask filled. So little tidbit for Kilchoman.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't believe they're 20 years old already. I think it's this whiskey. If it was in the last lineup, if we're just purely talking about taste, I would say this would be right up there with Lefroy Lore, Cardius. It would be right up there for me. I think I would probably still go with the Lefroy because it's the best distillery in Isla, but this would have probably been my second favorite last week. That's where I'm sitting right now. How about you?
This honestly, this whiskey blew me away when I first tried the sample. I mean, I don't even have to lie. I bought a bottle of it before I even tried the sample. So, yes, I would buy this over anything else.
Over the Lefroy or Cardius?
Yeah, I would. Now I'm going to buy them both, but this one would definitely. The thing with the Cardius is it's way more readily available. If I didn't buy this when I had the opportunity, I probably wouldn't have been able to buy.
Okay,
So,
but we're not talking about what's more available. We're talking about you're tasting the whiskey. Here's the biggest difference to me between this and the Lefroy. So last episode, that was our most recommended whiskey. And I guaranteed they sold at least 2 bottles after people listened to our episode. The biggest difference for me between the Lefroy Lore Cardius and this Kilchoman 15 was there was more of a syrupy texture to the Lefroy versus this one that stood out to me. That I'm not saying this doesn't have mouthfeel or texture, but there was something about that Lefroy texture that really I still think was stuck out and make that just a little bit better than this one. But this would be second best between those two.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. Now, again, the Cardius is made up of hundreds of barrels. This was, 5?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, they wanted an age statement. They put in a little bit of extra age to it. One thing with Kilchoman is their sherry casks are top of the line. I've never had a single sherry cask from them that I've questioned, like, whether it's off or anything like that. And they talk about their cask management, their wood management a lot. And I know that they check every single barrel that comes in from them. It's, for me, this one has like that Kilchoman sweet peat that I fell in love with years and years ago, but it's also with the sherry, it's got a bit of meatiness to it, if that makes any sense.
It does. Well, I'm going to read the tasting notes that we have on the site here. It says nose, sweet spices and dried fruit, cloves, cinnamon, and sultanas with a waft of sea spray and briny peat. Palate, rich and full, not as full as Lefroy Lore Cardius. Dark fruits, cracked pepper, salted licorice with a gentle smoke that ties it all together. I would say not a gentle smoke. That smoke is prominent for me.
Yeah.
In a good way. This is absolutely delightful. It's really, really nice. Rachel at Whiskey Drop mentioned there's like an ashiness to it. Like it's like there's like smoke, but then it's almost like a little bit more than smoke. I know there's like it's quintessential Isla.
Yeah, totally.
Jer?
Thanks for bringing me in here, Trap.
I'm just really feeling bad for you. What do you think this tastes like?
It sounds pretty damn good. That's what it sounds like. I kept the GlenAllachie train rolling, and I poured a somewhat adjacent whiskey in the Meikletor sherry.
There you go.
Probably from your good friend James Bourne. He never sent me one of those.
James Bourne. I just want to keep him happy this episode. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. One day he has sent me. He sent me stuff before. I shouldn't knock. Sorry, James. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
He hosted the Christmas party for our club
He literally brought like thousands
with a
of
sword. Didn't he have a
Yeah.
sword waving around?
Yeah. That was for the club, though. It's different.
Yeah.
It was for charity.
And he presented at Drams for Fams last year.
Sean, you haven't said it yet. This is your favorite. So this is an episode with a lot of ties to you. Okay. Number one, Billy Walker, GlenAllachie. There's a whole history there where you hated him. Now you love him. He sent you a whiskey. What did he send you there? Peated something?
It was basically the 4-year version of the Meikle Tour before
Right.
it was the Meikle Tour.
Before anyone else got to try it, you got to try it, just as always, as usual. And then the Enigma, I feel like you've been kind of like all over those before most people thought they were cool. You were kind of like an Enigma guy. And then now we're on Kilchoman, and you tell anyone that'll listen they're the best distillery in Islay. What makes them the best distillery in Islay?
I just think
Second best. Like if you were to ask a million people, they would say second best, but best for you.
So for me, a lot, there's like 9. There's a handful of Islay distilleries that just rest on their laurels, and that's fine. They're good laurels to rest on. And, they release stuff that makes people happy, but it doesn't really change all that much. You taste it, you know exactly what it is. Kilchoman, for me, just when they release limited editions, they're worth being limited editions, where not a lot of the other distilleries on Islay do that. As well, the core range, they have an annual release in their core range. They have the 2 base core ranges in the Macure Bay and the Sanag. Everything stands out for me. And I think it's just a profile that I absolutely love. The peat that they have works with the cask management, and then they have their 100% Islay that they grow on their own farm, and that's most of their stuff is 50 ppm. The Islay barley stuff is 20 ppm, and some of those have been some of my favorite whiskeys that they've released. I don't know. I just from the first day that I opened a gift pack with 2 half-size bottles of the core range, it just clicked with me and has ever since.
Do we have some people listening for sure right now from a group chat called Whiskey Fabric, and they will agree with me that there's another distillery in Islay that's putting out super unique and innovative whiskeys regularly called Ardbeg. And what I'm hearing from you is that Kilchoman is just kind of releasing the same stuff over and over and over again. More sherry. Whereas Ardbeg is doing really cool, like different levels of char, like 60% char, 70% char, recharred, double recharred. And you think that that's a negative, whereas the rest of the world is saying, look what Ardbeg's doing. This is cool. Can you just maybe defend yourself a little bit here? Because there's people that are going to be knocking you right now.
That's fine. I am willing to defend myself. I do it every day, obviously. The thing is
Brian Simpson's listening. Just be careful.
Oh, I know. I love Bri. He knows that. Kilchoman doesn't have to hide behind a marketing team. They're a family-run distillery. They tell you what they're releasing. They don't make up names for shit. Stuff. Sauternes. They tell you that they're using Sauternes. It's not, hey, here's a scorch, or we removed this piece of equipment and it made everything so much different, but it tastes exactly the same as the last limited edition. So, yeah, I don't know. They're transparent. They tell you exactly what it is. They don't.
What what was our segment on the Lost podcast where you were supposed to get mad and you never did?
Yeah. The whiskey. No, I don't know.
The
What
whiskey.
did we call that?
Anyway,
whiskey rant?
the rant, and I tried to fire you up there, and you're such a puppy dog. You had a chance there to just rip apart everything that you, and you're just like, no, you're such a professional and such a stand-up gentleman.
That's why he gets invited to James's events, probably.
But like, our big like
Fair.
doesn't deserve to be ripped apart. They do what they do, and people buy it, and good on them. They know what people want, and they release that to their masses.
I'm just saying, your bark is louder than your bite. You're a puppy dog. You're
There's
such a nice
definitely brands that deserve to be ripped apart, and I'm sure one day I'll get another mean, nasty social media message from reps saying, "What the hell did you say about us?"
All right, buy or not buy. We're at an hour and a half now, right, Jer?
I'm not paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not even part of this. Sean, buy or not buy? Whiskey number 1, GlenAllachie, 12-year core release. It's sitting on the shelf at Whiskey Drop. We don't know what it actually, but let's just make believe it's sitting there, and it is $100. GlenAllachie 12 at 46%, $100.
For the world's best single malt 2025 World Whiskey Awards, yeah, I'm buying it.
I think GlenAllachie 12, I'm buying a bottle and putting it on my shelf, and that is a bottle that I am happy to pour for almost anyone that comes to my house.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's the bottle that you have, so you can, you tell people, oh, this is the world's best single malt, and then you can pour it for them. And it's not offensive. It's not going to turn people's noses up at it. It's not safe, but it's delicious in a mass appeal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, like we're not going to sit around and analyze the hell out of it, but we're all like, I think for $100 you can put that on your shelf and just be like, you will enjoy this. My uncle that doesn't really drink whiskey but wants to try whiskey kind of thing,
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. What does that sound?
That's my dog walking around.
Oh, nails. All right.
Somebody was whisking something.
That's just my dog.
GlenAllachie 12 is just like a comfortable, you can buy a bottle for $100.
Yep.
Buy a bottle. Okay.
Exactly.
This is going to be a harder one, but maybe not. Enigma Lowland 11-year 57.5%.
I'm buying it.
Is that the one you bought already? Oh no, you bought the third one.
Yeah.
Can you still find this one? It's still in stock at Whiskey Drop, actually. Because I was looking I looked up the tasting notes on their website.
Yeah. No, it's like, you obviously know that I've bought some of the Enigmas already. So to have this, this would be one that I would buy, and I would wait till we have like one of our paper bag events and bring it to a group of 10, 12 people blind and let them talk about it and discuss it, and there's going to be some wild guesses as to what it is. It's one of those ones to me.
So I'll say, as essentially a listener for this segment, listening to you guys talk about the Enigma it sounds like the one that, as an enthusiast, I'm like, that sounds like a really cool one to tuck away to pour for other enthusiasts.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
I think that's
exactly what it is.
There's 5 bottles left at Whiskey Drop, so tax included, $119. I think that's a buy.
Yeah,
that's a buy. I'm not pouring that for my uncle that doesn't know a whole lot about whiskey, though.
Totally.
No.
I'm pouring him one GlenAllachie 12, and then I'm pouring him Crown Royal that I snagged when Doug Ford was dumping it out. I saved a cup. I'm pouring him some of that.
Catching it with a Glencairn underneath.
Yeah. Uncle, this is the Crown Royal that Doug Ford poured out. Here you go. Whiskey number 3, Sean. You're not going to like my answer, but let's hear what you have to say.
I already bought it, so
Oh shit! So
What's the cost on the
that's
Kilchoman 50?
kind of the prohibitive mark for it. It was $245, I believe.
see if it was,
and again,
if it was a 20 year for their 20th anniversary, I'm like, well, definitely.
yeah, it's expensive, but
It's
for
cash,
me,
cash strength.
yeah, it's 52.7%, so it's just a touch over 100 proof in British empirical proof. But I don't know. For me, it was the one out of the 4 anniversary bottles that I had my eye on from the time they were announced. On top of that, only the 14 sherry and the 15 came to Canada in any substantial amounts. The 14 bourbon and the 18 year were so super allocated that if you didn't have an in at the stores that got them, you didn't get them. So when I found that out, the 15-year sherry it stood out to me. So that's the one I wanted, and I ended up getting it.
I'm not buying a bottle. It's $240 for a 15-year-old, not a single cask. I know it's only 5 casks, which is actually pretty close to a single cask these days, if you're coming from a big distillery. I still haven't bought the Lefroy Carriages because I'm just kind of like humming and hawing. But I think I if I'm buying one of the two, I'll probably just go buy that for like $40 less or $50 less.
It's $240 is nothing to shake your head at when you're buying a bottle of whiskey. It's a lot of money. Like, I think you got to really love what you're buying if you're spending $240 on it.
Yeah. I really like that Kilchoman. I didn't like it enough to spend $235 on it. It's not a knock on the whiskey. It's just saying that I'm a bit frugal sometimes. And when it comes to spending that much, right?
No, and I don't disagree with that at all.
I think that's a pretty good summary of them, though.
Yeah.
Without any help from Jeremy.
I think you guys did a great job.
Thanks, Jerry. GlenAllachie 12, buy one, pour it for your uncle that thinks he knows a little bit about whiskey. Enigma 11, Lowland, buy one, pour it for your nerdy friends. Blind, pour it for them blind. And get them to guess the region, the age, the casking, everything. Get them to pick it all. That would be a very fun thing to do. And then Kilchoman 15, unless you're Sean, just don't buy it.
Well, I can chip in when my samples finally arrive. I can.
Jeremy's gonna edit himself just talking.
Isn't Kilchoman 15? Isn't Kilchoman one of James's brands?
Yes.
Is it?
Oh shit! Definitely don't buy it. It's already sold out, right? John? Before I'm mostly joking here because I wouldn't say that. Is it sold out?
I do believe so.
If you have $240 and you have more money than me to spend, buy one because it's good. Don't buy one if you're poor like me.
Again, I'm buying it because it's my favorite Isla distillery, and I had to choose one of the 4, and 2 of them were really hard to get. And this, out of the 2 that were available, drew me in more than the other.
And I will say, Sean, like, a personal connection to a whiskey will make me spend more on one.
Totally.
Yeah.
When there's something there that I'm like, I feel personally connected to this distillery or this specific bottle, I'll spend more on it for sure. So I get where you're coming from.
I've been a fan of Kilchoman for 10 years now and kind of grown with them as they grew. I had a freak meeting with the founder and owner, Anthony Wills, in Calgary in 2019. And he couldn't have been nicer. He took the time to, talk to us. Then he went and signed every single bottle of Kilchoman in the store and just put it in the backpack on the shelf. So for 6 months after that, anybody that bought a Kilchoman from that store got a signed bottle of it. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Do you think James Bourne is still going to have like a Glenlivet 85 party in Canada? Or is that all done?
No idea.
I don't know.
I'm just like trying to decide how to finish my review of this Kilchoman.
It's while you're thinking about that, before it gets away from us, I'd like to award Sean Kincaid with 10 Last Call Whiskey Podcast points for the use of the word laurels twice in this episode.
Wow. He used the biggest word last episode too.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I don't think we give Sean enough credit. Also,
I don't care what Aaron says about you, man. I think you're smart.
Thanks, buddy.
tasting kits for episodes 1 and 2, if they're not sold out already, will be a whiskey drop. Just search Last Call Whiskey Podcast and they should pop up, I believe.
Yeah. They have, these aren't the exact labels, but they will have something very similar, has all the information you need on it.
It's per every 2 episodes, how many kits will be available? Do we know that?
So far, just like 18.
18,
Okay.
yeah.
So 2 for every listener.
Okay.
Every listener buys 1 for themselves and 1 for a Christmas gift for a friend.
Gotcha.
And
Or for themselves.
I was on their website looking up some stuff, but Whiskey Drop has these their whiskey clubs, right? And you can basically sign up for a club that you like. If you like bourbon, there's a bourbon club. If you like, but the club I was looking at today was called Whiskey Roulette, and you could sign up to get a bottle shipped to you every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, up to every 6 months. So you can get just 1 bottle every 6 months or every month or in between. And the Whiskey Roulette Club, they send you just a whiskey from any category. So could be an Asian, Japanese whiskey, could be an Indian whiskey. It's just something that stood out and they were like, this will be a cool one. So if you go to whiskey.ca, did we say it was .ca or .com?
.ca. .ca, yeah.
And look up clubs. You can actually just sign up and become a monthly or bi-monthly or bi-quarterly or whatever member, which is, again, pretty cool to be able to do that, but also just pretty cool that they're sending me and Sean samples to review for the podcast. Sorry, Rachel. I had to do it.
But like the cool thing is like by the time this comes out, the Enigma and the Kilchoman for sure are going to be sold out. So if you are interested by what we say and we gave glowing reviews to all 3, and you want to try them, you can order a sample packet, including the 3 from the last episode. You can go back and drink along with us, rewatch it, or drink them on your own, share them with friends. But yeah, it's a very cool initiative that Whiskey Drop set up with us to do this. And I think it's a smart idea. It allows people to drink what we're drinking. And not very many people do that.
It would be cool to get messages and be like, you're totally wrong. This is what I got. And I'd be like, yeah, I can totally see that. Like, it's obviously Sean and I are experts and we know what we're tasting. But it's cool that you have your own opinions about the whiskeys. And I think that's important. The
whiskey notes are never wrong unless they go against ours.
Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their own palate. It's just going to be wrong. We forgot to talk about a couple upcoming whiskey events. We did this last episode too. First Monday of every month, the Dramfine podcast. The girls, Pam and Chelsea, are hosting an event the first Monday of every month in Edmonton. Just go to Dramfine on Instagram and you can click on their link to get tickets. Really cool event. Sean, you just hosted one.
Yeah, I did one for October and it was so much fun. I didn't know what I was getting into. They kind of gear it towards, newer drinkers to whiskey and people that want to learn. and it was honestly one of the most fun tastings I've ever hosted. A lot of questions, a lot of enthusiasm, and they loved it. I did it for 2 stacks, and we had one, the rum and raisin from Kilchoman, and it was so much fun, and people loved it. I gave away 8 cans and a couple full bottles and all the heels, and
It was supposed it was supposed to be 5 whiskeys, and you poured 8.
it was 6 whiskeys was the lineup, and I poured 8. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I gave away a bunch of other stuff. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's so much easier when people are asking you questions and engaging as you go. Like,
And
it makes it so much more fun as the presenter.
we've all hosted for newer whiskey drinkers, and it definitely takes 2 or 3 whiskeys to get into it. But then once, I kind of loosen up, you crack some jokes. It was the day that the teacher strike happened here. And I said, I'm not here to teach you anything. If I was a teacher, I'd be a couple blocks down in the legislature, sticking my boot up the government's ass. And they all laughed, got him on my side. And so, yeah. And then from there, we went.
Good joke, Sean.
Yeah. So it was a fun time. It's a great event. They have one mid-month, actually, an extra dram, as they call it. And then back to every Monday, or the first Monday of every month.
Yeah, that event will be over by the time this podcast airs. So that's why I didn't bring it up. But anyways, Whiskey Wonderland tickets are on sale.
Oh, yeah.
PWS will be there. Single Cast Nation will be there. 2 Stacks will be there. Brian from Glenmorangie will be there. It's if you can make it out, it's a fun event. I had a really good time last year. It's February 19th to the 21st in Ottawa. And I believe it's at a CFL stadium this year. Mike's always changing venues. It's at the football stadium this year.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a dram 100 yards and spike it.
A dram and a can.
Yeah. Whiskey Global Calgary is November 7th. These events are actually kind of spreading, like they're everywhere now. So Whiskey Global Calgary is November 7th and 8th. It's Friday, Saturday. And actually, I don't. When does this podcast launch? November 1st?
Yes, sir.
Whiskey Social in Ottawa it's a new event. It's in Ottawa. It's November 1st in Ottawa. So
they're going to have this podcast playing in the background as
at the festival.
Enter.
Yeah. And 2 Stacks will be there. Elliot will be pouring some 2 Stack stuff there as well. So if you're in Ottawa and it's November 1st and you're playing this podcast, just go to Whiskey Social. That's it for events.
Beautiful.
Jared, what else you got to wrap things up?
What do we got? That's it for events. I think that's it for us.
That's it. Well, I mean, that's it for me and Sean. You've done literally nothing.
I've just sat here and drank GlenAllachie all night by myself, basically. I've been a podcast listener, which has actually been pretty fun.
Live in the round.
Yeah, live in the round. No, this has been cool. I loved having Caitlin on. She's a gem. Awesome. And it was good to hear her perspective on, her shift and now the mass amount of rye she's producing, even though she hates producing rye. And this has been great, guys. Love hanging out with you.
Anything you're excited about? Put that shit away, Sean. You're in Canada. The Blue Jays. Well, they'll be out by the time this airs, but
probably. Well, everybody will. It'll be over by the time this airs.
It'll all be over.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll all be out. The Blue Jays are World Series champions. Everybody. Something I'm looking forward to. I just realized Springbank released a 5-year-old 100 proof. I believe 100 proof.
Ooh.
Yeah,
or cask proof. 100 proof.
100 imperial proof.
Yeah, so 50%.
57.1.
Oh, it's like the actual 100 proof.
I assume. I haven't seen it yet.
It's a 5-year-old Springbank. It's $95. It's all bourbon cask. I just bought a bottle. I'm looking forward to trying it because I love Springbank. So kind of a cool new release that I'm excited to try.
That sounds very cool.
You managed to get your hands on one, Trav?
Yeah, I can't say where or how.
That's fine.
And well, it's going to be a core release, I think. So this is not. They'll be everywhere.
That's what I'm trying to find. Is if it
Should we
is
review?
actually-
Should we review it?
You know what? I think that our friends at Whiskey Drop might be getting some.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be super fun.
That would be a fun to do. We could do it. Are they getting the Springbank 15 too?
The 2025?
Yeah. That would be fun. That would be our most popular podcast in years.
Just based on the title alone.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Yeah.
57.1% ABV. So it's the
British true version of 100 proof.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's very cool.
We have our Scotch Club Christmas party coming up. We have our Scotch Club Advent filling coming up. I'm excited for a whole bunch. This is like one of the best parts of the whiskey season. So as we part the glass, I'm just like, this is a whiskey drinker's season coming up.
It's our time of the year for sure.
Yeah. It's whiskey season. I took vacation in November for the first time ever for whiskey season.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. It's this month I am kicking off. I'm super excited about this actually. So Sean, when you were in town, I took you to Stevens. And so I am working with Stevens and Haven, the same owners. So Haven's a more refined experience. Stevens is like modern day dive bar. So I'm going to be working with them on whiskey tastings that you can book at each venue. So the Haven one is a finer experience. It's by their fire pit outside. I got to hand select the whiskeys. I had to pick from BCL, so it was like fairly limited to what I could pick. But I'm still excited about the lineup. And then the chef is doing a food pairing to go along with it. So I'm excited about that at Haven. And then the Stevens one, I just get to go behind the bar, and it's like a lowbrow whiskey tasting. So I'm calling it whiskeys that you probably walk past on the shelf, but you shouldn't. And it's all like lower price point, but I think awesome whiskeys. So like Black Bush is in there, Naked Malt's in there. And yeah, it's going to be fun. And same with their snack pairings to that one as well that their kitchen's putting together. So I'm excited about that.
Do they have the sushi stuff there for that?
The corn dog
Tasting?
tataki.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's in there. I haven't seen the finalized list, but I'd be shocked if that's not in there.
I will travel to Langley to eat at Stevens.
It's so good.
Free promo right there.
So good.
I will travel anywhere in the world to eat whatever you just said. Corn dog tataki?
Yeah, it's like it's a corn dog served up like a sushi roll. So it's like all cut, and then there's like a jalapeno Cheeto, and you like eat it with chopsticks. Yeah, dude, it's so fucking awesome.
If I could go on Uber Eats right now and not do what I did last time, which is order a Edo Japan, I would order a, what would you call it? Corn dog tataki.
Corn dog tataki.
I would order that to my house right now. I would pay the extra $3 to speed it up.
So I think we need to do our first ever live, all three of us together, has to be like at Jeremy's place because obviously he's got the best setup, and we will go pre-dram and eat our faces off at Stevens in Langley.
Yeah, and I'll bring the Pantalog for the heartburn.
Perfect.
We'll preload.
The gas station nachos, unreal.
We'll see you, I guess, next time, and Jerry will have whiskeys next time.
Here's hoping.
Stay tuned for some after drams.
Cheers to everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks to Caitlin for showing up too.
See you later. The Last Call Whiskey Podcast is sponsored by Whiskey Drop Canada. Don't forget that every 2 episodes, you'll be able to order a kit through Whiskey Drop where you can taste through all of the whiskeys that we taste on this podcast. And special thanks to our friends Really Jiggered for the use of their recording of Parting Glass in this episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Good night.